3, 2, 1, you're on.
Shabbat Shalom. It is our joy, delight, and honor to welcome all of you who are joining us from our beloved sanctuary of Temple Solel in Hollywood, Florida. I am humbled to mark this moment to serve on this bima in our sacred space by the side of my dear colleague, Cantor Rosen, and with us online and in spirit with Rabbi Emeritus Robert Rosen, President Jason Block, and you, friends and family, and invited guests of our community. We are also joined in spirit by my wife, Michelle, and my daughter, Reese, who are traveling to Hollywood to join me on this 4th of July, as well as my son, Preston, who is with us for his first time ever, the second day of his being in the land of Israel. As we light our candles of Shabbat in a moment, we will pray and open our service. But before we do so, we open up with the melodies of Shabbat.
Lai 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 lai
As we kindle our candles of Shabbat, we pray that the lights of Shabbat radiate in the glow of the divine that shines from our souls and fills our space and provides us with solace and grants us the salvation of Shabbat. We welcome Robin to light our Shabbat candles.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
There are days when we seek things for ourselves and measure failure by what we do not gain. On Shabbat, we seek to acquire, not to share. There are days when we exploit nature as if it were a horn of plenty that can never be exhausted. On Shabbat, we stand in wonder before the mystery of creation. There are days we act as if we care nothing for the rights of others. On Shabbat, we remember that justice is our duty and a better world our goal. So we embrace Shabbat, for it is our day of rest, our day of wonder, our day of peace. In a moment, we will continue with the words of Lecha Dodi, which are offered to us by Shlomo Alkabetz, The 8 verses are arranged artistically according to each letter in his name. Our Jewish lives begin by entering into the covenant marked by the names that we choose. Every Jew is given a Hebrew name. Our names have worth because we have worth. A good name endures as our lives endure. What does your name mean to you? What does the name Temple Solel mean to you, to your family, to our neighbors, to the world? How will our names be etched into the fabric of time, such that our name not only endures, but is praised and sung through the ages? Lecha Dodi.
לך דודי לקראת קהלה פני שבת נקבלה שמור וזכור בדיבורך תשמיענו אל המיוחד אדוני אחד ושמו אחד לשם ולתפארת ולתהילה לך דודי לקראת קהלה פני שבת נקבלה לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה כי מקור הברכה מראש מקדם נסוכה סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה לך דודי לקראת קהלה פני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת קהלה פני שבת נקבלה התעוררי, כי בא אורך קומי אורי, שיר דברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה. לך דודי לקראת קהלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קהלה, פני שבת נקבלה. בואים בשלום עטרת בלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי חלה, לך דודי לקראת קהלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קהלה, פני שבת נקבלה. פני שבת נקבלה.
We welcome the ministering angels of Shabbat.
שלום עליכם מלאכי השרת, מלאכי עליון. מי מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. בואכם לשלום מלאכי השלום, מלאכי עליון. מי מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. ברכוני לשלום מלאכי השלום, מלאכי עליון. מי מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. צאתכם לשלום, מלאכי השלום, מלאכי עליון. מי מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא.
We are summoned as one congregational family, our souls joined together on our Shabbat as we rise in body or in spirit for our call to worship.
Lai 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 lai. ברכו את אדוני המבורך, ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד. ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד. Lai 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 lai.
Baruch atah Adonai hamariv aravim. Bless the Lord our God who brings on our evening. Baruch atah Adonai Ohev Amo Yisrael. Bless the Lord our God, who loves the people of Israel and all people. We continue with the ancient watchwords of our faith as we listen to ourselves, listen to one another, and listen to all the divine that seeks us. Our Shema.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Please be seated as we turn from listening to love. The Lord is our God, the Lord is one.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם, אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים, אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai, haporesh sukat shalom aleinu, v'al kol amo Yisrael, v'al Yerushalayim. V'shamru is a prayer that honors the Sabbath. As you may well know, we are offered from our tradition that not only are we to keep the Shabbat, but that the Shabbat has kept us Jewish. So too, on this 4th of July of independence, of freedom, not only do we honor how America has kept us free, but also how our faith heritage of Judaism, the beacon of freedom, has bestowed safety and security, that our Jewish faith has helped keep America, our great country, she who welcomes the huddled masses, yearning to be free.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם, ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם, כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, וביום השביעי שבת וינפש.
We rise in body and in spirit for our tefillah.
אדוני שפתי תפתח ופי יגיד תהילתך. Adonai, open my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, ve'Elohei Avoteinu ve'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah. האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים, וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיה הכל אתה, רב להושיע, מוריד הטל, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיה הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיה הכל.
May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all hunger find fulfillment on this day, and may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat. Modim anachnu lach, she'atahu Adonai Eloheinu v'lahei avotenu v'imotenu v'olam va'ed. Tzorcheinu magen yishenu atahu lador vador. As we offer the prayer of Modim, I'd like to acknowledge all those who are so invested in helping me humbly to serve the congregation, all those on the search committee, all those on the transition committee. Of course, Cantor Rosen, my colleague, as well as Rabbi Rosen, and all those good souls of our lay leadership, and of course you, our membership. God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth, which day by day sustains us. For all these and more we offer thanks. Baruch atah Adonai hatov shimcha l'cha na'eh l'hodot. Grant us peace, your most precious gift. Proclaim its message to all the peoples of the earth. Bless our country as a safeguard of peace, its advocate among the nations. May contentment reign within our borders, health and happiness within our homes. Strengthen the bonds of friendship and fellowship among all the inhabitants of every land. Plant virtue in every soul. And may the love of your name hallow every home and every heart. Praise you, Eternal One, who blesses our people and all people with peace. Baruch atah Adonai hamvarech et amo Yisrael b'shalom. We now take a few moments of silent prayer and private reflection, words that speak to us from the still, quiet places, and that may spring from our hearts.
שלום במרומה, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל, ואמרו שלום במרומם, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל, ואמרו, אמרו, אמן. nay 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 na na nay 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 na na nay nay na na nay 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 na na nay 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 na na nay 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 na na nay עושה שלום במרומם, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל, ואמרו, אמרו, אמן.
Take a moment to offer prayers of healing of body, mind, and spirit to those members of our families, our congregational family, and even to perhaps ourselves. Our prayers especially turn, of course, to those of the Surfside community. O source of healing, guide the skilled hands, the caring and courageous rescue and healthcare professionals. Grant comfort to all those who have difficult decisions to make or tasks to perform, and give the strength and the sense of your ever-loving presence, that all those who are in pain may be relieved from suffering and restored more whole once again. On this Shabbat Eve, we embrace fully with our hearts and lift up prayers of healing for Ann Becker, Richard Blank, Abe Cohen, Fran Cohen, Jane Gambardella, Seth Gelwasser, Barbara Glick, Dr. Robert Greenstein, Don Harvey, Larry Juris, Ida Kuchara, Hannah Cates, Phyllis Lewis, Fred Mattis, Elwood Powers, Diana Ramos, Juliet Rash, Michelle Robinson, Gabriella Rosenthal, Randy Shattenkirk, Ray Strauss, Charlie Wolf, and Martin Zalfin. I encourage all of those who have an additional name to offer from their hearts, or any corrections or emendations from the names which we just offered. Our prayer of healing.
מי שברך אבותינו אברהם, יצחק ויעקב, שרה, רבקה, רחל ולאה, הוא יברך וירפא את החולים. מי שברך אבותינו אברהם, יצחק ויעקב, שרה, רבקה, רחל ולאה, הוא יברך וירפא את החולים. אלנה רפאנה לה, אלנה רפאנה לה, אלנה רפאנה לה, אלנה רפאנה לה. מי שברך אבותינו אברהם, יצחק ויעקב, שרה, רבקה, רחל ולאה, הוא יברך וירפא את החולים.
Kaboom! 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 For many years, I've been living in rural Maryland, not far from the battlefield, just a few moments away, actually, of Antietam. Western Maryland is a lovely place. For 4th of July, with along as many as 20,000 others, Michelle and I used to take our 2 children, Preston and Reese, every time to the Antietam battlefield, where we would hear the Maryland Symphony Orchestra perform a salute to independence that included Tchaikovsky's 1812 Overture. There are spectacular fireworks, displays, and complete, yes, with cannons. The sound from those canisters are so powerful, they can fire lead balls from over 400 yards away. The whole display takes place on ground where brother fought brother, and some 23,000 men from both sides died, where wounded or others went missing in the single most grisly day of fighting in that bloody war. And here we are, generations later, enjoying one another and celebrating what we have in common as Americans. It is truly a sight to behold. What are we to behold on this 4th of July here in Hollywood? We are about to spend time with family, enjoy a hot dog or 2 or 3. The fireworks, along, evidently, I find out, perhaps in Florida, with a hurricane. Perhaps it's worthwhile to consider, what do we value in common other than fireworks in our tradition of independence? What does this value of independence mean to us as Americans, as American Jews, as members of the family of Temple Solel? In many ways, American independence means freedom, including the core inalienable values enshrined: freedom of the press, freedom of religion, freedom of assembly, freedom of speech. To this we proudly add, as religious progressives, other rights, including freedom over our own bodies, freedom to practice our lifestyles, how God created us. As Reformed Jews, we hear in the expression of independence our religious ideal of choice, that paramount value of autonomy of Reformed Jews. And it is no mere coincidence that Reformed Judaism has thrived in this bastion environment of freedom of the United States. In fact, despite several attempts in Europe, where Reformed Judaism first emanated and developed in the 19th century, in Europe, really, Reformed Judaism, for the most part, was not a grand success. In all of the European countries, even in Germany, where it was most prevalent, Reformed Judaism exhibited a character that was ultimately conservative, if not Orthodox. Services were almost entirely in Hebrew. Women sat by themselves, and men worshipped entirely with covered heads. In America, on the other hand, Reformed Judaism blossomed. In America, the government did not interfere in areas of religion. In America, anti-Semitism as an organized movement has never been particularly effective. And in America, the Orthodox, as opposed to Europe, were not as deeply entrenched. In America, where religious institutions are not supported by the government, faith-based institutions must be sufficiently robust as self-sustaining entities to be competitive in the marketplace. For all these reasons, it was the political and religious insecurity of the European Jew and the political and religious security of the American Jew that distinguished ourselves. That in America, unlike in Europe, we have organized Jewish institutions, which led to the growth of Reform Judaism. In our day and age, however, independence does not necessarily always translate as freedom. In our age, we have somehow twisted the notion of independence into the idea of individual supremacy, ego, a warped notion of autonomy that suggests our success is somehow due only onto ourselves. This is counter to an idea that we are somehow not only autonomous beings, but also somehow additionally dependent beings. We need one another, and we need the world which God created. And so that's really at the heart of the conundrum. As much as we value independence, we struggle with the dependence in independence. In the Torah portion of Pentecost, the Jewish people have been traveling the desert for 40 years. We learn how the mantle of leadership will pass from Moses to Joshua. It strikes us as somehow unjust that Moses does not make it into the land of Israel. The rabbis so too wrestle with this notion. Only a short time earlier in the Torah we are offered, then Moses and Aaron gathered the assembly before the rock and said to them, "Hear now, you rebels, shall we bring water for you out of this rock?" And Moses lifted up his hand and struck the rock with his staff twice, and water came out abundantly, and the congregation drank and their livestock. Moses was disobedient in hitting rather than striking the rock, perhaps full of pride, taking credit for hitting the rock, or angry or dismissive in his tone to the people. "Hear now, you rebels." Perhaps it is worth considering another reason why Moses did not enter into the promised land. Perhaps God did not wish for the Jewish people to be dependent on any one archetype of a leader, Moses, or any archetype of any singular way of thinking. So many of our institutional structures in Judaism, but also in America, have come to accept certain unquestioned norms. Are our temples accessible to the changing demographic trends of American Jewry? Are we open to the idea that 1 in 5 seekers are practicing a religion other than a religion of their birth? Have we adjusted sufficiently to interfaith families and to dual professional households? Do we provide real gateways of ownership and accountability to new and straying feet? Are we willing to truly consider new models of partnership and possibility? How do we take advantage of disruptive technologies of the internet and social media in education and outreach? Most of all, are we willing to sacrifice a part of who we are in order to seize the opportunity that God wishes for us? All across Reform Judaism, we are in a moment of discovery and wonder. There is no singular blueprint, but I can say that as much as Judaism teaches the perils of dependence, we are human, and we are accustomed to that which we have come to accept. Such may be the reason of independence of the charge of the Parsha, where Moses is asked to step aside. In this moment, from our Bima, what gives me such hope in Temple Solel is the clear willingness of Solel's leadership and membership to welcome me and to welcome all of our ideas, new ones. To be uncompromising in our defense of our core ideals of freedom, from both within and beyond the temple, and the love and perhaps even the bottomless devotion of our cherished and beloved leadership, from Rabbi Rosen, Cantor, Rosen, to support all those who are willing to truly forge ahead, according to new pathways as part of our God-given mission of Solel, even when it diverges from the past. I became a rabbi not only because I love Judaism, which I truly do, but I became a rabbi because I love Jews. I became a Reform rabbi because I love the interrelationship between America and Judaism and our vibrant inheritance and responsibility as American Reform Jews. And I'm humbled to be your rabbi. All of this sounds quite lofty and serious. So let's remember that the 1812 overture is set by a Russian Jewish composer, themed about a war between France and Russia. It is about how the French are driven from the field, and the piece then triumphantly incorporates that bastion of liberal democracy. With the cannons ablaze, the national anthem of Imperial Russia, God Save the Tsar, is embedded. None of it really makes any sense. Why we love to hear it, especially on the 4th of July. But then there are those cannons. And for all the talk of Moses not entering the Promised Land, we still constantly refer to Moses Rabbeinu, Moses, our teacher. And that's another truth of celebrating Independence Day. Being American and being Jewish, we just like what we like. And sometimes that's okay too. We'll figure it out in Hollywood at Solel as one family together. Perhaps with a hurricane, but minus the cannonballs. Shabbat Shalom. Let us rise for the adoration.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא.
Please be seated. May we gain wisdom in our lives, overflowing like a river with understanding. Loved, each of us, for the peace we bring to others. May our deeds exceed our speech, and may we never lift up our hand to conquer fear and doubt and despair. Rise up like the Son of God over all humanity. Cause light to go forth over all the lands between the seas, and light up the universe with the joy of wholeness, of freedom, and of peace.
ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו
We now turn to a mournful meditation. It is a fearful thing to love what death can touch. A fearful thing to love, hope, dream to be, and oh, to lose. A thing for fools this, and a holy thing to love. For your life has lived in me, your laugh once lifted me, your word was gift to me. To remember this brings a painful joy. 'Tis a human thing, love, a holy thing to love, with death as touch. We now lovingly recall those who are with us, no longer with us, on this, the Yortzeit, the anniversary date of our dearly departed. Our hearts turn especially to mourners in our community who are in deep sorrow and have recently sustained a loss of a loved one. We offer prayers of comfort, of solace and strength as we remember and love Ida Adams, Lucille Barron, Hyman Berman, Paul Feld, Rochelle Foreman, Annie Goodall, Jack Oland, David Goldbart, Dora Goldstein, Philip Gordon, Linda Greenfield, Benjamin Green, Helen Green, Samuel Hershkovich, Manfred Human, David Horowitz, Kitty Horowitz, Joan Jacobs, Bernard Cass, Sean Catlin, Marion Klegman, Helen Kritzer, Hyman Crone, Rita Crone, Dr. Gerda Landman, Howard Lidskin, Helen Lowe, William Melchner, Kenneth Millman, Herbert Nyron, Keith Pammon, Dr. Samuel Rosenbaum, Abraham Rosenblum, William Rosenhand, Edith Schiff, Ruth Schiffman, Abe Schoenfeld, Brian Shapiro, Marion Siegel, Marion Snowman, Renee Weiner, Pauline Weiner, and Charles Plost. Our mourners Kaddish, as we continue, I invite you, all of us, to rise as able. Yikadal v'yikadash shemei Rabbi, v'amad divrach yotei v'amlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayet l'chol be'Yisrael, v'gala uzman karev v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbi v'varach le'lam umei amaya. Yibarach v'yishtabach v'pa'ar v'yitramam v'naseh. V'tadar v'talev v'talal shmei d'kudasha b'richu. Le'la mikol berchata v'shirata, shishbechata v'nechamata. Damiram be'amav v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemayim, v'chayim aleinu v'al Yisrael v'imru amen. V'seh shalom b'imramav, v'yaseh shalom aleinu v'al Yisrael v'imru amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us, to all Israel, and to all who mourn, to which we offer. Amen. And now, it's my distinct pleasure to invite up Matt Littman, our indispensable Matt Littman, who has been so generous and so patient with us throughout this entire process and has led us to this very moment of broadcasting from our sanctuary.
Yes, we do need to lower the microphone because I'm definitely not as challenged as both of you. So, before I get into it, I just want to say it is a pleasure and an honor to be here with you, Cantor, in person. I don't have to teach you how to do anything on Zoom. I can only just keep you right here. To Robin, my trustee person who is sitting behind the scenes, who is my right hand on everything. And of course, to our very young Rabbi Plost, and the fact that within about 5 seconds of meeting him, I got to hug him was probably the greatest pleasure of my life because it felt like home to me. So good evening on this 22nd day of Tammuz. On behalf of the Temple Board of Directors, I would like to thank our Solel family and friends, as well as our global audience, for connecting with us virtually and spiritually on this Shabbat evening. Temple Solel makes Judaism vital, relevant, positive, and lasting. We work tirelessly to ensure that the beauty, depth, ethics, and joy of Judaism are brought to life, not just for our members, but for all. By making Temple Solel a philanthropic priority in your life, you are not just sustaining your synagogue today, you are helping to ensure the strength of our welcoming model of Judaism for generations to come. And as Rabbi Plost mentioned during his sermon and during others, that we are still greatly thinking about the victims and the families in Surfside. So if you go to our website and you also go to our e-blast, you will see the opportunity to click on a link, and the Federation in Miami has coordinated a way to help them out, so I appreciate if you can navigate there, click on the link, and then go ahead and donate what you can to show our love and support for those families and victims in Surfside. A huge welcome to our new rabbi, our senior rabbi, Ari Plost. The Temple Solel family is ready to welcome you with open arms. We are honored to have you join us, and I know you left a legacy with your congregation in Hagerstown. In our Solel Pathfinder that was sent to our congregation today, we included 3 glowing articles that featured Rabbi Plost. When you get a chance, please read the articles and watch the videos. You will see how loved he was and how lucky we are to have him with his new Temple Solel family. We'd also like to thank those congregants who have generously donated to the Welcome Rabbi R. Plost Fund, and we encourage those that have not donated yet to take the time to give what you can. And I would be amiss not to again give a special thank you to our dear friend Bob Pomerantz, which I don't think he's on the Zoom today, so I'm gonna have to call him out. But a big thank you to Bob Pomerantz for giving so generously to help us with the live streaming and also to welcome Ari Plost to our wonderful family. A big thank you to Stephanie Joffe and Scott Lewis. They put on a wonderful and exciting vegan Shabbat dinner tonight, and I wasn't able to attend. I was getting ready here, but I believe the theme was tropical fruit, a lot of good discussion. So I encourage you that the first Friday of every month, our Tikkun Olam committee does put on our vegan Shabbat dinner. So we thank them for always being so grateful for doing that, and we look forward to next month. So for all the live virtual events, you can join us in one of 2 ways. You can join us on our Facebook live stream, or you can join us on our website, or for those congregants, you can join us on Zoom. So tomorrow morning, I encourage everybody to join us on Zoom for Rabbi R. Plost's first Torah study. So that is at 9:30 a.m. on Zoom, and you can click on the link within our e-blast to be able to see how to join that. Then when we get to next Friday night, we're just as excited to welcome him again for our Shabbat service, and then again for Torah study. And just a little bit of a teaser, look forward to some announcement coming soon. At some point, for us to be together in a very safe way. We're working the protocol out, but look forward to that soon. We cannot wait to be with everybody in a very safe way within our congregation. So we ask that all of you stay safe. We ask all of you to pray for everybody and stay in good health. And a Shabbat Shalom. And again, thank you, Cantor. Thank you, Robin. Thank you, Rabbi, for giving me this pleasure. Back to you.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם בורא פרי הגפן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר קידשנו במצוותיו ורצה בנו ושבת קודשו באהבה וברצון הנחילנו זיכרון למעשה וראשית כי הוא יום תחילה למקרא קודש זכר ליציאת מצרים קיוונו בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים ושבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת אמן לחיים
Chaim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
You want a cup? Huh?
have a closing hymn familiar to all. God bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and I guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountain to the prairies, to the oceans, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
May God bless America. May God bless our beloved Temple Solel. May we always be strengthened and inspired and motivated to be independent, but also so to realize our dependency and love for one another. And so it is my pleasure that we join together. All of us, please join with us from the sanctuary of your homes as we mark the holiness and sanctity of this moment.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה.
Amen ve'amen. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom.